With great pleasure, I introduce Peggy Fleming.
I have been photographing and interviewing the checker men, and I'll have them stand up in a minute. And during that process, I thought, oh, this should be a documentary. Javi and I were in the same class, and that's how it came about, right? So, Javi, do you want to say anything? And then Tal always has an interesting story. Changes and gets bigger each time, so I wanted my husband to film it this time.
All I had to do was turn the camera on. They brought it to life. They're just a group of very, very interesting people. In 10 minutes, you guys saw it. I saw a lot of laughter. I saw a lot of people just bonding with it, and that's the same experience that we had. So.
I play checkers 6 days a week. Every once in a while, I play it on Sunday. I don't tell anybody that, especially to my wife. Because after I spend all this time down there playing checkers on Saturday, late night, and when it's time to get up in the morning, I don't want to get up. But she's insistent. Listen, if you can show so much enthusiasm, if you can show so much passion, get up here and go to church. And so, you know how kids are when they don't want to do something. I get in there during the shower. Sometimes I'm not in the shower is right. You in there about a long time. She opened the door once and I was shaving. So I said to her, listen, now there's something to off limits to even you. I was talking to her. So, but she's feisty, but I have a hard day every day. Things don't always go well, but boy, at 5 or 6 o'clock, I'm out of there. I can go down and relax. It's not always easy. Because when you try to put your will on other people, sometimes they put their will on you. And when they put their will on you, they talk about you. They make you mad. They call you out of your name. And sometimes I even want to fight. But I try to bite my bottom lip. And sort of take low. But boy, I'm seething inside. No sooner than I get out of there, I want to go somewhere, and sometimes I stop on the side of the road and try to put the game back together that I just lost. But let me tell you what, every time you make some progress in checkers, there's somebody that's making a little bit more progress. Boy Wonder, he's one of our newer members, one of our younger members. But boy, every time I play him, he just beats me. But the last time we played, we came out of tie. So I was happy about that. He said he told me when I got down there, he said, now listen, I'm gonna get my dinner off you. I wanted to call him a bad name, but I didn't say that. I said, you mind if I get my dinner off of you? And so we played, and it came out as a draw. It came out even. He won 2 games, and I won 2 games. But that's the life of a checker player. A checker player's life is ups and downs. It follows life. You have some good times, you have some bad times. But hopefully, you know, the bad times always seem like they're longer and harder, like a toothache. It stay with you a long time, but I guess when you go back and look over things, it's not that bad. And no sooner the toothache leaves, you back doing the things you done before the toothache came about. But that's the life of a checker player. And now, Peggy came by. I'll tell you an interesting story about Peggy. You have to live the life of a checker player. You got to live the life of a Southerner. You got to live the life of a black man coming out of the South. And we play in a section of the town that is gentrifying now. before it was gentrifying, it was 100%, 110% Ussens. If you know what I mean, you get my drift. Now, I don't know what it is. It's 20, 30, 40 people. Some of the people live in places I never think about living. But you know, our neighborhood now, the place Checkerland is gentrifying, and the things we used to do, we can no longer do them because we don't know who's who. We can't call people the way that we call them because it can be offensive to outsiders. But it's changing, and now we're in a neighborhood that is, they say it's primarily African Americans, but I doubt that. So one day I got a knock on the door, and so I thought it was one of the boys. I said, "Get your key! If you haven't got a key, go home." And so I knocked on the door again. I went out there, and that's the strangest person I've ever seen in my life knocking on the door. Peggy, she wanted to know if she can come in. Come in. So, no, time out. I had a little, I called a huddle. Boy, caucus, you know. Now listen, somebody come in here. That's what I said. I don't know who they are. IRS may be sneaking somebody in here. Police may be sneaking somebody in here. Whatever it is, I want you to be on your best behavior. So she came in, and we sort of prepped the boys what to do, and the men what to do when they got in there. So she came in and wanted to know if she could photograph somebody. And so I said, well, I don't know what you're going to photograph, but what you hear coming out of these guys' mouths sometimes is not Sunday school, believe me. And so she came in and started to do this, and I guess it lasted about an hour or so. I was glad when she left, because I was tired of being on the good behavior. When I get down there, I just want to act myself, do some things, not necessarily bad, but you know, you can do some things when you're with your boys that you can't do anyplace else. So she came down and got us on our best behavior, so she left. And I said, well, good riddance. Now we can go back to doing the things that we normally do. And about 2 weeks later, I hear this lady back again. What does she want now? She'd already got my story. And now she said, want to know, would you continue that story that you were telling me? I forgot the story I was telling. So now I got to make up another story to tell, you see. So she asked me some questions, but long and short of it, she brought in coffee too, and he fit right in, you know. Then she brought in some more people. So now, boy, things are just changing. I felt my privacy. I felt what do you call it? My space. You invading my space. I felt people were invading my space. But long and short of it, it worked out very, very well. And now we've got a 10-minute film. She told me the other day that she's working on an hour. We met down at Ben's Chili Bowl. Anybody know what Ben's Chili Bowl is? Have you heard of it? Okay. It's a place that we hang out. We go and get little half smokes and hot dogs. I'm a hot dog specialist. I'd rather have a hot dog than a steak. I would. Steak don't taste that good. Steaks don't taste that good to me. But boy, a hot dog, I thought I knew all the ingredients of it. Somebody got me once told me and said, listen boy, if you see what they put in a hot dog, you would never eat a hot dog again. But I still like them for that. She invited me last week down to Ben's Chili Bowl to, I guess, tell me that she's not going to make this into along a video, possibly an hour. So I felt good about that. Now we got a book, and now we are here. And so I'm glad to be here. And I hope that we'll get around to playing some checkers. And I hope that everybody will enjoy what we got to do, because we got some other stories to tell. Fascinating.
The story changes every time.
Oh, what other thing? What other thing? Anybody ever heard of fishermen? They said that fishermen are the biggest liars in the world. Honest goodness. But I got news for those fishermen, boy. All you gotta do is be the checker player. They can dust any fisherman. They can put them to shame, boy. And they can tell some humongous, fantastic, off the chart, LIES.
Would all the checker players please stand up? And why don't you come stand up here, and then if there's time for any questions.
Frank Webb, also known as
Come here, John. My name is Jim Finley, and I'm relatively new with the group, so I don't have a nickname yet. Plus, I don't play checkers that well. I'm better known for the boxing club compared to Stillman's Gym. Any of you who are a boxing fan will probably know that Stillman's Gym was one of the most famous. Well, I was in the business for 40 years, and it's pretty well known.
Brother Finley has trained all of the good boxers throughout history, has either trained or been associated or come through Jim Finley's gym.
we playing national tournament in the month of July. And this club called County Pool Checkers right now, for the last 3 years, we are rated #1.
Does anybody know how many different combinations of moves in one game of checkers? It's millions. It's unbelievable.
I've been playing checkers all my life. I'm 80 years old. And I started probably about 2 or 3. I came up on a farm. We didn't have lights or running water. And it was I guess checkers then was like the television is now. Now I understand that television is like a babysitter. When you haven't got anything to do, you put your kids in front of them, they just watch television. During that time, it was easy to make a checkerboard. You took a piece of paper and you draw some lines, and you put some dots on it, checkers up, checkers down, and we would entertain ourselves with just time and time again. And whenever we went to a social event, checkers was one of the things that kept us busy. And when I was coming along, I hated school, had no interest in it whatsoever. They wanted to put me in a corner. Because I was considered sort of slow. couldn't read, couldn't write, didn't have any interest in reading and writing. And so they said that if you play checkers, you have to learn how to count. I can count 1, 2, 3, and that's all I needed. But boy, when I started playing checkers, the whole thing opened up to me. I learned that I can count. I can count backwards. You give a person 1 checker and you take 2, 1 step up, 2 steps back. I mean, it turned out to be fantastic. That's fascinating. And so after I started playing checkers, they said, well, maybe this boy is not as slow as we thought he was. So I've been playing checkers all my life, put it that way.
Did anybody teach you, or you just pick it up?
Yeah, my mama taught me. She beat the daylights out of me. And if you, let me tell you what, if she's dead and gone now. But boy, many times I wanted to slap her. I did. But look at, I used to tell this, well, I tell the story about I used to ball, look at it. I balled up my fist once.
Did your mom see you ball your face up?
I had my fist in my pocket. my mother taught me how to play checkers. All my uncles taught me, they would play. I mean, it was just a way of life. And when you went somewhere, there would be a checker game, you see. So checkers is just part of our life. It's been growing with me and forever. And wherever I go from this point on until they say ashes to ashes and dust to dust, I'll be playing checkers. I don't know where it's going to be, but I will find the checker game someplace.
Yeah, can you tell me why you play checkers?
Yes, sir.
Friend of mine, soccer player that they thinks about, some people can look 10, 15 moves ahead, and to do that, you have to concentrate and you have to really get your mind is really sharp.
I think as long as you play checkers, there's always something new that you can learn. You're always practicing.
But the checkers we play, which is pool or Spanish checkers, opens up a whole new world when it comes to checkers.
As far as the club, I joined the club for the fellowship, you see what I'm saying? And we have guys that come to the club, don't play much checkers, but they just enjoy being there.
In checkers, you're out there all alone. It's on you. So I guess I could say it's a satisfying thing in that I'm selfish that I want to be the one that succeeds. So I try to improve myself.
Me, myself, I played chess first. And I would sit there, I go to the U.S. Chess Center, learn how to play. Those guys sit there and they move. I said, what about that? And everybody turn around and look. I said, man, what do I do? They move again. I said, man, that's a good move. Hey. I said, man, this ain't my place here. I said, I don't like this place here. I went past a gasoline station one day, man. These guys had a checkerboard out there. Yeah, come on, Ham, move. Ah, boom. Come on, yeah. I said, these my kind of people here, man. Man, my folks was looking for me. We was out of town, man. I wandered across the street, man. They got a police looking all around for the little boy. It was me. They were looking for it. Finally, man, when I got older and got a chance to get around some checkers again, my folks would say, you going to the chess center? I told her, yeah, I'm going to chess center, straight down 9th and S. And right there is where I learned, because the guys, not only was the strategy so good, but they had so much colorful characters and things in there, and you could be yourself. Like as Tal was talking, you could go in there, you could talk, and you could do what you want, some stuff. You don't be on edges, on pins and needles too much, like I was saying about when Peggy was here. We cut loose a little bit with Pegs here. We didn't got used to it now, but you can't do that when chess is so, like in a library. So I said, man, the checkers are like the playground. So I got out there and I enjoyed it. I haven't quit. I've been playing for 25 years. And I have not achieved the championship yet because the competition is that thick, but I'm still after it.
You're always at a challenge, and you want your mind to be better than the next man's mind. So anything that was a challenge to me, I would master. If I couldn't master it, I didn't play it. I just didn't. The horses, I don't play the horses because I couldn't master it. Because I never know what the jockey going to do. He playing in my mind, I don't even know it. It's going in my pocket at the same time. So that was it for me. It was just a challenge that I had to master.
I play checkers because chess is a little bit more sophisticated, supposedly that is. But for the love of the game, and especially if you were born or raised in the South, it's just part of the community. There was limited activities of recreation that we had at that time, and I'm 85 years old, so that wasn't exactly yesterday. But I do love the game, and most of all, you see someone playing checkers, and they will give you 2 or 3 moves where you take that man Then all of a sudden, he's got 4 or 5 of yours and wind up in the king.
Now, we're gonna watch this one. I want a tutorial with someone sitting next to me.
Okay, I'll give you a tutorial.
Chatting.
I know you.
Forward, but I'm still off the board.
Come over here. Very good, that's right.
I didn't want. It doesn't matter. You would have had.
No.
Yeah, you open them up, man. I'm supposed to go in there when you open them up, man. I didn't have anything else, man. Okay, I'm gonna play your game off for me.
Go down about three spots. Yeah, about 3 spots. 1, 2, 3.